Hello everybody, and welcome back to Rain Check. We met a curious deer, a rather curious fella. They were kind of fun. They were kind of fun. Kind of hope they show back up. I hope they're not just like a one-off thing, because they were silly. They were a good time, and I guess we're just still exploring. After making my way back down and through a connecting sky bridge, I find myself by a set of elevators. Looks like I need to go down. Just as I'm walking up to call an elevator, one promptly arrives with a group of felines pushing a heavy cart out. There are several large cylinders on the cart, and they all stare at me as they exit. Looks like a bunch of workers trying to transport something, but something feels odd. Off? Hey, buddy! It's a Tigor. Sorry, no service on the elevators right now. Closed for, construction. The group looks amongst themselves before returning their gaze at me. Okay. Do you know how long the construction's going to last? The tiger snarls and points in a general direction behind me. No. You can go down through the staircases, though. Alright then. Thanks. I awkwardly thank the group with a small wave and make my way to the staircase, as the rest just watch. Well, that was strange. Dubious, even. And rude. I'm curious what kind of construction they could be doing, though. Go find out. Go snoop around. Who's gonna tell you no? The workers? Unlikely. Oh, wow. The lobbies, that's music. That's happening. That's going places. It's doing things. The lobby's way more open than I expected. It kind of has the airport vibe. There's this cool TAI sculpture, glowing white, looking pretty high-tech. The place is buzzing with all sorts of people gearing up for the convention. I'm starting to really appreciate having this pass. Looking around, I see doors leading to different halls. As a crowd floods in, I quickly check my phone to find Sanu 6's keynotes in Hall A. No, my phone's almost dead. Guess I'll just bite the bullet for now. Spotting the opening of that company, a sign, and the growing line, I head towards the much shorter queue for pass holders. Alright, can't wait to see the kind of innovative techs being developed these days. Oh. Row. Wolfer. Big pupper. You know. Fancy seeing you here. Still have your wallet. I look over my shoulder to see Rao standing right over the line dividers. He's looking at me with the same smile as before. I didn't expect to see Rao here at all, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Hey, Rao. I didn't know you'd be here. Rao's face looks as surprised as I am before he shrugs at me. Was looking for someone that might be here. Rao looks at me and then to the long line I'm currently in. What's the line for? This? Just lining up for Sunix's opening presentation. I look down at my phone to read the time, then back to him. They'll be starting soon. I could see his face looking somewhat confused. Some kind of presentation? Yes, it is. Are you here for the tech convention? He takes a quick glance around the lobby and then back at me. No, not really. That's alright. You said you were interested in the Cypress earlier. Correct. I see. Then you know about this convention, right? Rao slowly nods his head. Just enough. I read about it on the news at some point. Not here to attend the convention, but wish I could, maybe. The gadgets and stuff look cool. Wait, isn't my convention pass good for 3? Cause of the promotional offer I got? Least I can do is ask him if he's interested in joining me. Especially for returning my wallet. Anyway. The large wolf looks down at his phone and back to me with a grin. Gonna get going now.
It was nice bumping into you, though.
He gives me a small grin and starts to walk off, but I stop him just in time.
Hey, before you go, I just wanted to ask if you were interested in joining me for this opening panel.
I pull out the convention pass from my pocket and flash it in front of him. Rao's face looks surprised for a split second. I didn't expect that from him. He quickly changes back to the same neutral expression he'd been doing, though.
Tempting, but no. I'm going to be busy in about an hour. And what the hell are you waving for? Your lottery ticket. No. That's perfect then. The website scheduling says the presentation's 40 minutes. And as for the tickets...
I wave the convention pass in my paw.
Luckily, I got a promotional deal, so you can come along.
Rao crosses his arms and cocks a brow. He gives me a smirk, which turns into a toothy smile.
Oh, that's convenient. You saying you're able to get me in or something. That's exactly it. You don't have to join me, but hey.
I stumble over my words.
You helped me find my wallet. This is the least I can do. Besides, the ticket,
What, this is it?
Sorry. The ticket I have doesn't cost me anything for you to come with me. Only if the time, though.
Rao takes a look at my pass and looks like he's about to say something, but then sighs.
Not sure if I can. I'm still trying to look for someone. That reminds me, one sec.
He takes out his phone and stares at the screen, his eyes squinting at first and then widening. He pokes at the tiny phone in his paw for a second before shaking his head. There is a look of disappointment, but it changes quickly back to a small grin, and he looks right back at me. He mumbles something to himself, which I'm barely able to make out. I guess this could work.
Well, good news. Looks like I can join you. I'll take you up on your offer since you're so persistent on it.
He puts his phone away in his pocket and looks somewhere behind me. That's when I realize Rao's lining up to looking at the lineup instead. I look back and see that the line at this point has basically doubled in size. The regular line besides me is stretching so far off I can't even tell where it ends anymore.
Really? That's great then.
I decide not to ask him what he read, or why the sudden change of mind, assuming that he's telling me anyway if he wants to share. I try gesturing to him with my paw, pointing to myself and then back to the line.
We can wait at the back of
the large wolf suddenly grabs the line divider and with his large paw and cuts right in front of me.
There.
He gives me a mischievous grin and raises his brows like he's been caught. For a moment, I'm not sure what to do. I look around to see if anyone notices, and luckily no one has, or if they have, they didn't really seem to care. Finally, I find the right words and whisper to him.
I think you should go to the back of the line. We can't have you cutting.
Rao looks at me with a playful smirk, shrugs, and he looks towards the back of the line and then back to me.
What? Just doing what everyone else is doing.
He points to a couple not too far from us with a large paw, and it's clear that they're cutting into the line too.
I guess you have a point, but still, don't worry about it. Why don't you tell me more about what we're lining up for anyway? Oh, sure. So, have you heard of the company called Sonics? No. Oh, well, do you know about how an ultrasound works? Not exactly, so feel free to explain it to me. So there's this device called a transductor that emits sound waves into your body. It gets reflected and collected, and the image is produced on the computer. Right. So it produces an image with sound. Is that what Sonics develops? Yeah. They do a lot of stuff with ultrasound, but recently they've hinted at a big breakthrough. Seems like they might be doing more than just sound stuff now. Okay. Okay, so what about it? What do you mean? Well, you said that Sonics is, what Sonics is, but what exactly is the panel about? Oh, right. They're showing off one of their latest products. It's supposed to be a grand reveal. I'm surprised the details weren't leaked. Is that it? What about the company history? I'm not sure. I admit I don't know too much about them, just skimmed through their wiki article the other day.
Rao's the first one to notice the line moving as he motions his head towards it.
Looks like we're done waiting. The line's moving.
I almost lose sight of where he is by the time he finishes a sentence. How the hell did he move so fast?
Hey, wait up! I need to show them the pass!
We're a clumsy Tigor, that's for certain. We enter the dim auditorium, guided by ground-emitted white LED strips. Keeping pace with Rao's long strides in the semi-dark proves challenging, especially as his sizable figure obscures the little light ahead.
Oh, that looks promising.
He points to a machinery on the stage that resembles something like a giant laser gun, for lack of a better word. Actually, why is that here?
Huh, I'm not sure, but we do need to figure out where to sit. Do you have a preference on that? At the top or bottom of the auditorium?
Rao raises his eyebrow at the question.
At top, of course. What about you? I personally don't mind, though.
Well... Well... Oh, that's how the UI is. That's kind of neat. I like the top. I like to have wide view. I want to see the whole stage. I don't really care about being up close.
Actually, sure. I wouldn't mind sitting at the back for this one. It'd be nice to have a wider view of what this laser can do anyway.
Raul chuckles and grins at me.
Perfect. I love being at the back. Great place to catch some Z's.
Rao already strides up the stairs towards the back, his size requiring him to cover multiple steps at a time. My pace lags behind his as he's effortlessly several steps ahead of me. Upon reaching the top, Rao halts, his gaze setting onto the seats in the farthest aisles.
Over here looks good.
Rao casually points to the middle of an empty row, then starts shimmying through the seats, his tail swishing amusingly. The back row's got a clear view of the stage, but the sound is muffled. A good thing there's a screen streaming the action up here. I plop down in the middle, and I slide into the seat behind him. The cushion swallowed me up. The initial buzz of excitement is wearing off, leaving a wave of tiredness. Are we gonna catch some... Are we gonna be a nappy boy?
I thought I was tired. You're good. Yeah, I'm fine. Just a bit exhausted.
I give a weak smile back to Raul, who's now looking over me. I didn't even realize I had dozed off there. Sitting back here is pretty cozy. The sounds are pretty muffled, it's dark, and the seats are so comfy. Raul gives me a look.
Well, if you're going to take a nap, maybe I should too. Didn't get much sleep last night. Had to deal with a bunch of shit. Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to take a... You can take a nap if you want. I'm just kidding. Besides, I'm interested in seeing what the hell that laser does. Being somewhat flustered, I readjust myself in the seat, making sure I'm not comfortable enough to doze off again. Just sit in his lap, there you go. I spend the next short while taking pictures and looking about the auditorium, watching it fill up. We wait for what seems to be a couple of minutes before the lights on the stage start to brighten and the spotlights aimed at the stage turn on. A hare dressed in a rather snazzy-looking sweater comes onto the stage with a mic in their paw. If I had to guess, he's going to be our MC? Is that how that's spelled? MC? Huh, okay. Welcome to Sonic's opening keynote. I hope you're excited for what we have in store for you today. The speaker starts introducing themselves and the company. It seems like standard protocol. They haven't addressed the large laser-like thing on the stage yet, though. A bunch of other employees come out on stage and start introducing themselves as well. They turn to the laser and start explaining its functionality. So I'm sure you all are wondering what this machine behind us is. This laser, in fact, is our latest invention. It uses lights and sounds to see objects and walls. The employees help swivel the laser and aim it at the back of the stage where the curtains are. The hair presses a button and the machine starts rumbling like an idling car. A faint glow reveals silhouettes behind the curtains, as staff members moving and waving. As the curtains open, the group is revealed, still waving, and the glow slowly fades away. There's a short gap in the audience, followed by some cheering and clapping. It seems like everyone's pretty impressed with the demonstration, including myself. I don't think I've seen anything like this before. Naturally, I start clapping along with the audience. There's a short intermission now, so I sneak a glance at Rao, half expecting him to be asleep. Instead, he leans forward, his gaze fixated on the screen.
Excuse me. How is it so far? What do you think? Hey. He gives me a smile before he scratches his head.
Oh, he gives me a smile before scratching his head. Whoops.
It's alright. Although, did you notice anything funny when they turned on that laser? 'Cause I did.
Nothing immediately comes to mind as I think back to what we just saw.
No, not really. What did you notice?
He mumbles something incoherent under his breath.
Never mind.
He nudges his head towards the stage and leans back in his chair.
Break time's over.
I'm tempted to press him for what he saw, but it was probably nothing. Looking back at the stage, I can see the hair all along with some other staff members walking back up. The keynote continues as they resume the presentation, discussing future products and things to look forward to. This segment seems pretty dry. Most of the details just fly over my head.
And that concludes the keynote. We have several other panels lined up this week, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for everyone once again. We hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
The lights slowly turn back on, but it's still too dim to make things out around me. Rao gets up first and stretches his back with a loud yawn. From where I'm seated, he's practically towering over me.
Honestly, for someone who's never heard about this company, it was pretty decent. Good to hear. I think I'm going to do some more research when I get home.
I follow his lead and get up to stretch my back. I'm hearing a clattering onto the floor as I pull myself up from my seat. Rao and I stop moving. At first, I'm not sure what the noise is, but after checking my pockets, it's my phone. Rao and I exchange glances.
Your phone?
Crap. Could you help me find it? We both look to the ground, searching for my hopefully not cracked phone. Even though the lights have turned back on, the back sections are still dim. I don't even know where to begin looking. Luckily, in less than a couple seconds, Rao points to the spot in front of me.
I think I found it. Here.
He squats down with a paw on the ground, taking a closer look through the gaps made by the seats in front.
Too tight.
Rao motions his hand towards the gap and shakes his head. He gets up by his feet and turns on a flashlight on his phone.
Don't think my arm can fit through that gap. Think you can get on your knees? You think I can go to the other side and get it that way?
He leans over the rows of seats in front of us and examines the ground, then looks back at me.
You're gonna have a bad time. It's closer to us here than it is there. I guess I don't have much of a choice then.
I force a chuckle as I kneel down for a better view. The view doesn't improve, so I get on all fours and try my best to peek through the gap between the chairs.
Could you use your phone to help shine a light through the gap? Let me see what I can do.
He aims the light through the small opening in front of me. At the same time, I try to lower my body even more, attempting to feel the ground for my phone.
Good?
Carefully, I pull my arm back out of the gap and turn to face him.
Actually, could you give me your phone for a second?
Maybe I can get a better angle if I had the light in my paw?
It's difficult to turn my head in this position, but I can hear his footsteps stop behind me.
Here.
I could suddenly feel the sensation of the cold metal against my right paw.
Thanks. I almost got it.
The position I'm in is starting to feel more and more tense, and I readjust myself. This time I'm practically laying on the floor. While the light is helping out, there's still a blind spot created by the decline of the flooring. I don't see or feel my phone at all. The thought of asking someone in front of us did cross my mind at this point. But at this point I'm too invested. Theodore, please. Just as I'm about to get up and try my luck from the other side, Rao's voice interrupts me.
Left. More to the left. Are you sure? I can barely see anything. Positive.
I do as he says, and after practically wiping the floor clean with my paw, I could feel something smooth and cold.
There. Oh, thank God. My shoulders were starting to cramp.
With my paw now on my phone, I managed to grab onto it. Despite the awkward angle, I'm able to slowly back out my arm.
Need help getting up? I think I should be okay.
I shift my weight around to the ground, trying to give myself enough room to get up.
That was pretty annoying. I hope my...
Oh. Look how thick he is. I'm about to rise when I find Rao towering over me. In the scant light, my gaze inadvertently falls to his crotch. I'm not sure if it's the lighting or the angle, but from where he's standing, his bulge is extremely pronounced. Practically towards his right thigh. Flustered, I quickly avert my gaze, feeling the heat rise to my face. Oh God. I'm completely certain he'll notice the intense blush on my face right away.
Hey, you good? You didn't pull a muscle or anything, right?
I didn't know he could be that close to me. Was he standing that close to me all this time? There's a hint of concern in his voice. I would be concerned too if I saw someone snap their head back up to the ground and tense up.
Sorry. I forgot what I was going to say.
I slowly get back on my knees before, recovering my balance to stand back up, and making sure not to make eye contact with Rao as I get up.
Hey, everything alright? Oh, no, I'm fine.
With my face still warm, I try to act as casual as possible as I pat the dust off my body. I definitely didn't just have my face 2 feet from another man's crotch. Nope, not me. Now Rao tilts his head and studies me for a second before giving me a slow nod.
How's the phone?
I had completely forgotten about my phone. Naturally, I bring the phone up to inspect it as Rao diligently stares.
I
inspect my phone in my paw, making sure there's no cracks on the screen.
Everything seems to be fine. I don't feel any new scratches either. Perfect. Let's go.
Well, okay. Alright, everyone. I'm going to be ending the part here, so I'll see you guys around.